Wammo Breakfast.
The Radio Wammo Breakfast.
Drift into the right level. 11 forward, coming down nicely, 200 feet. 4.5 down. Houston, tranquility base here. The Eagle has landed. Rocket, we copy you down, Eagle.
No, it's not the trailer for Moon. It's Transformers. More than me. Lena Lamont's in because she's seen it. G'day, Lena.
Yeah, robots in disguise. I remember that from when we were little.
Yeah. Well, I'm very much a fond Transformers fan as a kid. Had a few of the toys when they were made part metal and part plastic, not all plastic junk like they are today.
Right.
Like the old conjuring.
Yeah.
Back in the days when toys
in
were
the good
made
old
right.
days, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, when Lego was just like little bits that you put together to create something. Not you got a pack that had 3 bits in it, and one's the guy, and one's the island, and one's the machine, right?
Exactly.
I know. That's all the pleasure out of
And
it.
and the cartoon was cool. I remember the cartoon. It was good.
Yeah.
Fun. And of course, we've had 2 movies. I've seen the first one.
Yeah.
I didn't go bother seeing the second. Heard so many bad things.
Yeah.
The third is out now.
And the third redeems Michael Bay somewhat. Michael Bay, obviously, most people will know, is the director of this and Armageddon and pretty much any film where big explosions happen and the plot is tenuous and the script is poor. But he's all about spectacle. And you know what? I have to give him an A for effort for this film because you can tell that he recognised that he did a fantastic first one, a lame second one, and he got beats for it, and he thought, I better put some effort in. So the film starts quite nicely with that whole space talky kind of 1960s. And we're back in America, and we're trying to be, America are trying to be the first country to land on the moon, right?
Yeah.
And so it's kind of nice. He takes a bit of history, messes around with it somewhat, has the first Apollo moon landing, 1969, right? Mm-hmm. And he has Neil Armstrong doing the whole, it's one small step for a man, blah, blah. And then it all goes like that. And then they nip off behind a rock and discover a Transformers spacecraft that's crashed.
Just hidden behind the rock.
Yeah,
like
right?
That. Yeah.
They never told us that.
Yeah.
It's coming out now, though, so obviously the truth is out there. As
So it skips forward to now?
Yes.
So where's this? Hang on. So this isn't a prequel, is it?
No, it isn't. This is kind of like that was just a setup. Like, oh my goodness,
They've stolen some ideas right there.
Right.
From a movie that will be coming out because the fans are going to be paying for it. Iron Sky, you might have heard of it. Nazis on the Moon.
I have not.
Well, for 1945, a group of Nazis managed to escape just before Berlin was overrun, and they rocketed up to the moon, and then they built a base on the dark side of the moon, and they're going to come back and they're going to get us.
Really? That's a real
Nazis
film
from
in development.
space.
Who's directing that? Do you know?
I don't know. It's brilliant.
You didn't just make that up, did you? Because that is brilliant.
It's a great premise for a movie, isn't it?
Oh wow! Well,
Yeah.
it'll be disappointing if it's a better film than Transformers 3, which it probably will. But you realise Transformers is called Transformers 3: Dark of the Moon.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Because that's where the fallen Transformers craft.
That's why I think they've
Apparently.
stolen the
That's-
idea, because this has been
wow.
a fan idea for a long, long time. Fans have got together and said, hey, let's make this movie.
Watch
Yeah.
that court case.
Yeah.
Well, that's something to look forward to. So anyway, getting back to like the present day, Sam Witwicky, he's no longer going out with Megan Fox. He's got a blonde English girlfriend who is quite striking, obviously, because all Michael Bay's leading ladies are quite striking in their looks. She's a Victoria's
Don't we
Secret
see
model.
her butt, first of all? Is that how that...
You see very long. Yeah, you kind of do. It's got knickers on, but
Yeah.
very, very, very long legs.
Yeah.
Go on for, and I saw this in the IMAX, so they're even longer. It's unbelievable. It's quite extraordinary what it takes to be a Victoria's Secret model or a Michael Bay leading lady.
Yeah.
So Rosie Huntington Whiteley, I think her name is. It's quite, I mean, it's kind of funny, I don't know, intentionally or whatever, when Sam at one stage, that someone says to him, she's special, right? And he says, she's the one. And it's like, yes, and I'm sure you meet, intellectually and everything, you probably meet on so many levels. Anyway, blah, blah.
So they all have a battle on Earth, right?
Yeah, exactly, and that's part of the blah, blah, actually.
Yeah.
It's the same deal, Autobots, Decepticons,
Yeah.
all over
Crashing,
the show.
and the humans get caught in between.
Exactly,
Right.
but it looks good.
Yeah.
It's overlong, in my opinion, and I think probably in a lot of people's opinions.
Did you see a 3D version?
I saw 3D IMAX, 2.5-hour version.
Crikey.
I know, and it did start to go on a bit. But to his credit, Michael Bay got to the third act, as we like to call it, so I guess we're talking the third hour, when you're really getting a little bit fatigued, and suddenly we're in Chicago, and Chicago is being torn up by Decepticons.
We see that on the trailer, don't we? We see the big skyscraper and some kind of tentacle wraps itself
exactly,
around.
and the tentacle, I think it's called Shockwave, is a fearsome beast, and so there's some very exciting bits in that final hour if you can keep up.
Okay,
I think that's
got to
why
get to the final hour. So maybe
get your sugar
buy
in
your
you know.
ticket,
Yeah.
go and have a meal, turn up for the final hour.
No, go for the beginning, for the setup.
Yeah.
Then maybe nip out for a bit, and then maybe nip out
go
for
have a
half
beer
an hour.
down at the pub.
That's right, and then come back.
Yeah.
Not that that's possible.
No.
So actually stay there for the whole thing.
Okay.
So, summarizing, Michael Bay does a good job in terms of the explosions and the look of it, and there are some very exciting set pieces. The acting is what it is. The script is what it never was. And you've got John Turturro, John Malkovich, Frances McDormand, who won an Oscar for Fargo. She's married to one of the Coen brothers.
Yeah.
So you've got some quality people in there.
Okay.
And then you've got everything that a Transformers movie normally is.
All right. Now for something completely different.
Nous sommes en 1977.
Ces femmes, c'est au foyer, c'est pas au travail.
Mais aujourd'hui, elles veulent être reconnues comme de vrais partenaires.
Coucou. Ça s'est bien passé hier soir avec ton acheteur allemand?
Oh, fous-moi la paix, Suzanne.
Si tu veux mon avis.
Ton avis? Quel avis? Tu as un avis?
Mais Robert...
Ce que je te demande, c'est de partager le mien. Sinon, tout le reste, c'est des paroles et de l'énergie perdue. Allez, tais-toi un peu.
A movie called Potiche.
Potiche.
Oh, Potiche, okay.
Potiche, but that was nicely done. Potiche, which means trophy wife.
You like your French films?
I do like my French films. This one is pretty special, I have to say. It's got Catherine Deneuve in it. Now, Catherine Deneuve, to me, is kind of the Gérard Depardieu of French films. We see a lot of her, we see a lot of him. And funnily enough, he's in this as well, but that doesn't need to be a key factor. Catherine Deneuve is a legend in French cinema. The nice thing about this film is it looks so 70s, right? I mean, you have the privilege of being able to see a bit of the trailer.
Yeah.
It's a pastiche of 1970s family melodrama, and everything is, you hear it in the music, right, just now.
Yeah, 70s, but done in a kind of a Mad Men attention to detail kind of way.
Absolutely. The production design, the costuming, the hair, the way it's shot, the colours and everything are heightened. And it makes it seem like, oh, this is going to be a jolly, fun film. I mean, at the beginning, Catherine Deneuve is in this fantastic kind of jumpsuit, and she's briskly walking through the forest, and she's kind of saying hi to the squirrel and the deer, and it's all very whimsical, and you think, where is this going? And then she takes us back home, and we realize that she's a very wealthy woman married to a husband who really doesn't really care, and is very self-serving and sort of self-important, who runs an umbrella factory that was bequeathed to her by her father. And then all of a sudden there's industrial action at the plant, so to speak, and the workers rebel. And who brings them round? Not Robert or Robert, but Suzanne. And suddenly this woman who has until then just been treated like a bit of a trophy wife suddenly finds that she has a way with, HR management and can bring the workers round. And it's that may not sound cool. This is a charming film. But I'm seeing it on your face. You're thinking this was cool.
No, it looks fantastic. And,
Yeah.
and some of those actors in there look amazing as well. So
It's zippy.
Yeah.
And it's fun, and it's a little bit meaty. There's a proper story to it, so it's not just a trophy film. It's lovely.
Okay, Potiche
Potiche.
is the name of the film. We looked at that and also Transformers.
Yeah,
Don't forget,
which is kind of a trophy film.
don't forget you can check out more reviews in the Sunday Star Times and also at lenalamont.wordpress.com. We'll see you next time.
Can I just say that next Thursday, of course, the film festival
Oh, it does too.
opens in Auckland, and it will be travelling rapidly around the country.
Yes, and we will be covering some of that in the following weeks.
Yes, we will. And Lena Lamont will be covering many of those films.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Nous pouvons aller dans mon bureau si vous voulez.
Non, mais je préférerais dans ma voiture.
Ça suffit, j'ai changé. Je suis une nouvelle femme. Et ça, grâce à la patronne.
C'est dans le sens de l'histoire, maman. Partout, les femmes prennent le pouvoir.
Oh, mais ta gueule, toi! Qui c'est le patron ici, nom de Dieu?
Moi.
Non, si je comprends bien, c'est moi maintenant la potiche.
En quelque sorte.
j'ai pas dit mon dernier mot.